welcome to Rewatch Party, where we're just dipping in for an hour between meetings. I'm Marc Green.
I'm Harison Blume.
And I'm Zack Horwitz.
Slightly different recording setup today because Mark and I, for the first time in Rewatch Party history, are in the same room together.
So if we interrupt each other and it sounds bad, you just gotta suck it up because we're friends.
Yeah!
I, however, am not in the same room. I'm just like away. Harrison decided to stop over by Mark's place and dip in for an hour between meetings. We figured, why not record?
Yes, dipping in for an hour between meetings is a running theme in this episode.
Yeah.
As we will see in possibly our favorite episode so far.
In a good episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were other episodes that I was very entertained by that I thought were very funny. But this one felt like the most complete story. It felt the most like an episode of iCarly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like an episode of a TV show, and it was very funny.
It was, in fact, an episode of a TV show, and that TV show is, in fact, iCarly.
That's true.
That is a true thing.
Yeah.
That
True
can be
statement.
said about that. That can't be said about every single thing we've done on this show because we haven't
None of the
always done
Fullest House
iCarly.
episodes
That's
have
true.
been like
Yeah, those
an
have
episode
been
of iCarly.
those were episodes of a different show. That is not
Yeah.
iCarly.
I just mean that if iCarly 2021 is the grown-up version of the original iCarly TV show, this episode is the one where it really feels like, oh yeah, this is a grown-up version of the original iCarly TV show.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. We have the social media angle back. We have an A plot and a B plot with some shenanigans and some struggles between the girls here, which made
There's a villain and some zany new developments for our
Yeah.
heroes.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, they're popping in for an hour or two between meetings.
Yeah, that's all of what it is.
You can watch this episode while popping in for an hour between meetings.
So we start this episode off with Harper.
Guys, Harper has clothes all over the apartment. She's taken up all this space because she has an interview for a styling job for the runner-up of RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh,
The
boy.
fifth runner-up, not the
Fifth runner-up. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, Harper, she's still getting started out. You gotta work your way up to the first runner-up.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
gotta
like,
work your way through the ranks.
I mean, like the champ. That's too much. That's like too mainstream. That's not cool.
Yeah.
That's not fleek, as the kids like to say.
yeah, when you do the styling for a RuPaul's Drag Race champion, that's when you know you've made it in the fashion industry.
Well, I think when you've done the styling for a champion, you've overshot it. When you do it for the runner-up, the first runner-up, that's when you know you've made it. You're still cool.
Just
You're
like
underground.
any finalist in general.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. I've never seen RuPaul's Drag Race. I don't know how many finalists there are, but
As a side note, I've never won anything in my life, but I've been the runner-up many times.
that's our mark. A solid number 2 option. A solid number 2.
I'm a real number 2.
Real piece of shit, that guy.
Anyway, Harper has clothes everywhere for this new job, and Carly wants to be supportive of her trying to pursue her dream, but yeah, it's making them clash a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Also, guys, Millicent comes in. Millicent is a sunshine girl.
Woo!
Wasn't there an episode of the original show where Spencer fights sunshine girls?
I think
Oh,
so. I think it's because he
yeah.
accidentally set their cookie stand on fire or something like that.
That's
Yeah.
right. I remember that.
The sunshine girls are this universe's Girl Scouts.
Yeah.
Yes. As if that wasn't
And I love
clear.
fake Girl Scout organizations and TV shows.
Yes.
It is always a great source of comedy.
I gotta say, I love how just in general, iCarly is just like, oh, it's not the Girl Scouts, it's the Sunshine Girls. It's very much like all the brands in this show are like, hey, can I copy off your homework? Yeah, sure, but like change it up a little bit so
Boy
it doesn't
Scouts
look
and
like
Girl
you copied.
Scouts, I imagine, are litigious as fuck. I don't think you could do this with the Girl Scouts.
No, I know. I know you can't like just use the brands. I'm just saying I like how it's very much like, no, it's not the Girl Scouts, it's the Sunshine Girls.
No, that's very much of this world. You got Skybucks, you've got Galaxy Wars, you've got hair products.
It's a hair phone, not an Apple phone, legally distinct.
Yeah, I'm so looking forward to the day where we're watching an episode of iCarly and someone's like, yep, I'm just drinking a nice cold Loca-Cola.
Oh my god. Get it as it makes you crazy.
Well, gonna take a drive in my Neep brand truck
Neep.
over to McRonald's to get a Big Ron. My life is hell.
Oh, I personally prefer Burger Queen. Or no, Sandwich Queen.
Sandwich Queen.
Sandwich Queen's good.
It's a female-owned business, so I gotta give them all of my money. And speaking of female-owned businesses, hey, that's a transition. That's a transit. Is it the right time to do this transition, Mark?
You're maybe getting a little ahead of it.
I mean,
but it's related because Spencer walks in and he's wearing the same clothes as last night. Carly asks him, hey, did you do a walk of, and then Freddie covers Millicent's ears and goes, shame we can't stay, and leaves because his daughter is 11 years old. And Millicent, as they're leaving, she says, stop impeding my education.
One of my favorite Millicent lines so far. Absolutely.
Is Millicent a good character now?
I think Millicent's pretty good. She was pretty good last episode, and she's pretty great this episode.
Yeah.
Because they finally realize it's not just entertaining to have her be mean all the time.
She can't just be mean. She has to be mean and also a successful businesswoman at the age of 11.
Yeah. Well, here's what I think it is. Because she's still, like, kind of evil in this episode.
It's fine if she's evil.
She's not mean to the main characters.
Yeah. She's not constantly impeding them. Just trying to be a jerk.
Yeah, because early on in the show, her character is, I hate all of the other characters, and I'm going to just tell Carly to fuck off. Her character in this episode is, yeah, I'll talk to you guys. I'm also I love money, and I'm plotting the downfall of my enemies.
Yes, that was great. I love that. It's great. So Spencer walks in from his night with his lady friend and explains that her name is Argentina.
His lady friend Argentina.
A woman who he met while gushing over his own sculpture at a gallery.
Yep. I don't know if we find it out this scene, but Zach, whatever your transition was, yes, she works at a female co-working space.
Yeah.
Yep.
Called iLeapIn. Get it because it looks like LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally an original idea. Legally distinct. Don't sue us.
I was a little disappointed that iLeapIn wasn't some sort of like women-based pun on LinkedIn.
Yeah, you're right. That would have been good.
I can't think of a good female pun on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Because I can think of some really bad ones, and I'm not going to share them.
Oh, God.
I'm trying to think, and I'm drawing a blank right now.
Anyway, well,
it's very...
You're right. That's it. It's called Whim In.
No, that's it. That's
W-O-N.
That's the one.
I-N.
Yep,
Harrison cracked the code.
That's the one. That's that's the one.
Pun master.
That is
the podcast.
Sometimes the greatest pun is the simplest. Sometimes less is more, and Harrison has demonstrated this today.
Yep.
Great job, Tyler. Can you add in like a round of applause, like a standing ovation for that right now?
Thank you. Guys.
Like add that in post.
I'm just doing a little golf clap myself.
Okay, that's enough of the clapping.
Yeah. Anyway, they ask Spencer if they can use the iCarly studio in his apartment as a workspace for Harper. Carly also works there, and they get on each other's nerves because Carly's using headphones and talking loudly, and Harper's using a lot of steam. It occurs to me they were clashing because they were getting in each other's way. Carly could have been working in her apartment.
Yeah.
Why did she follow Harper?
Has an objectively terrible workspace too. It's one of those shitty, like foam-covered 4-leg desks like tables that you would have at like a kid's birthday party.
I'm just really stuck on Harper. You're in my way. You need your own space to do work. Also, I will follow you to that space.
Yeah.
Also, I will offer up my own space and we can work there together as two hardworking women.
Yep.
So yeah,
if only there was some sort of co-working space for women.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Mark, do I have just the place for you? It's called iLeapIn. You can stop in for an hour between meetings.
That's right. This is the scene where we actually meet Spencer's new lady friend, Argentina, who gives Spencer a digital assistant with her voice.
Yes.
By the way, she's played by Christine Taylor.
Yep.
Who you know from a lot of projects. She was married to Ben Stiller.
Yeah.
She was in Zoolander. She was in the Brady Bunch movie.
She was very good in Zoolander.
Movies.
Yeah. She's great. I did not expect to see her here.
Yeah.
She's very good in this episode, I will say.
Yes.
Yeah.
She kills it. She kind of kills it.
Yeah.
As Argentina.
Argentina.
So Argentina gives them the pitch for iLeapIn.
Yep.
And they're like, yeah, that sounds great. Let us get a tour or whatnot of the space.
Sign me up for iLeapIn. More like
I'm ready to take the
women.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm ready to take the leap.
Oh God!
Sign me up for iLeapIn. I'm ready to take the plunge.
This is a very pun-heavy episode.
I'm having a lot of fun with it.
Correction or clarification. This episode of iCarly is not a pun-heavy episode.
Yeah, I meant the podcast.
This episode of the podcast.
I mean the podcast.
That's why I said clarification.
Yeah.
We're just in a silly, goofy mood today.
We're just in a silly, fun mood, and I think we're gonna have some fun.
Yeah. We're gonna have some pun if you get it. Moving on.
So the Sunshine Group, right?
Yeah, we go over to the meeting of the Sunshine Girls. I think, Freddie says, like, can I get you girls anything? And the leader's like, we don't use the word girls. We call ourselves young people. And Freddie's like, the name is literally Sunshine Girls. And the leader says, not if the class action lawsuit goes through.
Why are you suing your own company?
Just change the name.
Because it's offensive. Harrison.
You gotta work from
corporate has mandated
within the system.
I am sure they have petitioned the CEO of Sunshine Girls Incorporated. I assume someone named like Helen Sunshine. I assume they have gone to Helen Sunshine and asked to change the name, and repeatedly they have been denied their personhood, denied their independence, denied, and they cannot take it any longer.
You know, I feel like if they win this class action lawsuit, it's going to be like this big thing where it's like, oh shit, we got to change the name now. We'll call ourselves the Sunshine Football Team, and that name will stick around for like 2 years longer than it needed to, and then they'll call themselves the Sunshine Commies because they couldn't think of a better name.
That was good.
Totally not based off a real world example or anything.
Yes.
So anyway, we're at the meeting of the Sunshine Friends, and
the Super Friends.
The Super Friends.
Yeah, the Sunshine Friends.
They've all made mood boards. Millicent's vision board, not mood. I think they might be mood board. I don't know. They're vision boards.
I think they are vision boards.
I feel like they might say mood board. The Millicent's vision board has like stacks of gold and a life insurance policy in case something, quote, happens to her spouse. Millicent is good in this episode.
Millicent is very good. I am here for her killing her future husband.
Freddie is very proud of Millicent's vision board. He's like, yeah, that's my girl plotting to kill her future spouse.
Yep.
So, sorry, that's my young person plotting to kill their future spouse.
Yep.
Sorry, I had to catch. I was being reductive there. I'm sorry. I had to correct myself. I deeply apologize.
Zach.
Yeah.
I'm glad you apologized.
Thank you.
But the leader tells them all they're going to have their annual fudge ball sale fundraiser, which of course excites Millicent because the idea of money.
Yes.
But Millicent is shattered when she hears the funds do not go to them. They go to the Sunshine Girls as a larger entity.
Yeah.
Straight into the
Sunshine young people.
Straight into the pocket of Helen Sunshine, our corporate overlords. abusing the workers again. God, it makes me so angry.
You know what? I never thought of it that way. That all those children are too young to work. They can't get the money from those fundraisers.
It's child labor.
It's child labor.
Straight into the pocket of Helen Sunshine herself.
Give him a cookie selling
Helen
badge.
Sunshine.
All for my sweet, sweet Thin Mints and tagalongs.
The Sunshine family has been at this for too long.
Yeah.
Helen Sunshine, her father
Harrison,
Brian Sunshine.
It's the iCarly universe. So they have to be right. They have to be like a discount like
they have to be
version.
They have to be like join me on a walk.
They sell thick
join me
mints
on a walk.
It's a ball form.
they do sell thick mints.
Thick mints. Oh, and Polynesians instead of Samoans.
Yeah. Oh god.
Oh god.
Oh god.
That's awful.
It's bad.
They sell football team cookies.
They sell football team cookies. So Millicent threatens to sell her own fudge balls, to which the leader says, "Then we will sue you." And Freddie goes, "We'll sell something else." And the scene ends. I liked that line a lot where she's like, "Well, I'm going to sell my own. We're going to sell our own fudge balls. We're going to sue you. We're going to sell something else."
Yeah. We're going to sell our own fudge balls with blackjack and hookers.
Except forget the blackjack and the
fudge balls because we will get sued if we sell them.
Wait, no, I didn't mean that way. Oh god.
Anyway, Carly and Harper go to iLeapIn, Athena's working space. Carly's a little she's not into the big meditation pod nests that they have, but Harper jumps in immediately.
Mm-hmm.
No, wait, Mark, do you have written down the backstory as to why Carly doesn't want to go in there?
It was something about an MRI, but I forget the rest of it.
She was in an MRI and they forgot about her.
They forgot about her in an MRI.
I felt like this was very important to bring up.
Having had an MRI or two in my life, that sounds terrible. They are so
It sounds
loud.
very not good, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
That's very bad.
Yeah, but that is so funny. They put her in an MRI and they forgot about her, so she's not super into the big mechanical pod.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Harper is loving it.
Yeah. And Argentina walks away. By the way, just to be clear, a bunch of characters do pronounce it Argentina, but some characters pronounce it Argentina, including, I think, the woman herself.
Argentina. Yeah.
So we are saying Argentina.
She doesn't pronounce any other words that way. She just says her name that way.
That's because it's her name.
Yeah, she just wants to feel special. I feel like here's my
Argentina
headcanon
in my notes and wrote Argentina.
Yeah, here's
my headcanon.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my theory, and you can accept or deny as you will. But I believe her name is just actually Argentina. She just added the sound in there because she thought it would sound cool, and she wanted to sound more like, "Ooh, look at this girl, it's Argentina."
Expansion of that theory. I know that Argentinians speak with the Spanish lisp, so it's very possible. She said, "My name is Argentina," in conversation, and then it stuck.
Yeah, I honestly do think both of those are exactly it.
I mean, you don't have to be from Argentina to be named Argentina.
No, but she's pronouncing it in the Argentinian way.
I know.
Alternate theory, though. Her name is or was Argentina.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She lived a long life, saw or perpetrated a violent crime.
Oh, no.
Went into hiding. She's not super creative. So she went, what am I going to call myself? I need a new name. I know. Instead of Argentina, I'll be Argentina.
Oh my god.
I will disappear.
Argentina's.
That's the one.
Out on the prowl. She's murdering people.
Yep.
If I went into hiding, clearly I need to name myself Harrison.
I'd be Mark with a C.
Yes.
I'd be Zack with a K.
Oh god.
I'd be Mark with a C, and I'd be Green without the E on the end.
Yes. I'd spell my name Blume, like Judy Blume.
Ooh, I would be Horwitz. Just take out the second O, so it's just Horwitz.
That's true. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Guys, the perfect plan.
The perfect plan. Now we can start committing crimes.
If you see a new podcast pop up from Marc Green, Harison Blume, and Zack Horwitz, but they're all spelled differently.
It's like the iCarly versions of ourselves.
Yes, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. It's like us in the Dan Schneiderverse.
Oh my God. Yep.
So
tune into Feetcast.
Oh no! I wasn't gonna go there, but you did.
Okay, Carly bumps into her friend from yoga, Toji, who she hasn't seen in a long time. Yeah. And Toji explains she's gotten involved in iLeapIn. It's great. You can just dip in for an hour between meetings.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. And then when
that sounds really nice. I'm sure that's never brought up again throughout the episode.
Yeah,
well, it is a great selling point that you can leap in for an hour between meetings.
It's a great selling point that you can dip in for an hour between meetings. Yeah. But when the minute everybody else kind of leaves, Toji leans in really close to Carly and says, "Don't do it. Don't leap in."
And then Argentina comes over and
Toji's like, "This is great. I love iLeapIn."
Yeah, and then Toji runs away. So Carly becomes scared.
Yep. I'm starting to think that iLeapIn is a cult.
Do you think?
I'm not 100% sure, but my first clue was that Toji said, "Don't leap in," and as a single tear runs down her face.
You know what my second clue was?
What?
Well, Argentina starts talking to Carly about joining, and Carly's like, "I don't really want to join." And Argentina says, "If you don't join, you'll never see Harper again."
Because she'll be so busy at I almost said LinkedIn. At iLeapIn.
Yeah. She'll be so busy at LinkedIn. And Argentina worms her way onto iCarly. She asks Carly to put her on, which Carly doesn't really want to do, but she wants to see Harper, of course.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's great that it's only taken us about, 5-6 episodes since the pilot for the show to remember, oh yeah, she has a web show.
Yeah, this is the first episode in a while that involves iCarly.
That references iCarly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always been involved in like tangential ways, but this is really leading.
We see Carly editing iCarly.
Yeah.
She talks about a segment they did on iCarly where she ate a bunch of marshmallows.
Yeah.
She's like, I've tried to fit a bunch of marshmallows in my mouth. Spoiler alert, it's more than you'd think. Is Carly an absolute throat goat?
She definitely implies that.
Can I just say?
I mean, she does cuss a little.
Mm-hmm. Can I just say, Zach, that's worse than Feetcast, right?
Oh, for sure.
Asking is Carly Shay the throat goat is worse than me saying Footcast.
I speak the truth. I speak what everyone's thinking. Listen, she does cuss a little.
They rejected his message.
They rejected his
They rejected Jesus when he spoke the truth.
The people were not ready for it. For his message.
The earth was covered in floods because they did not hear the message of Zack Horwitz that Carly Shay is a throat goat.
Yeah, Zack with a K, Horwitz without.
So if we've learned anything, it's that Carly's the throat goat and Zack is the Messiah. Anyway,
yes.
Next scene, Millicent has started a cupcake sweatshop.
Yes.
Yay!
That's the best way to describe it.
I love that she recruited several Sunshine Girls.
Yeah. Including they're calling themselves Millicent's Minions.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she recruits a bunch of Sunshine Girls, including my new favorite character, Olive.
Olive is so funny.
Olive, who was very enthusiastic about the Sunshine Girls, but now is here, and Millicent says, like, no bathroom breaks, and Olive is like, no problem, I'm wearing a diaper.
And then, like, Millicent makes
Millicent's like, I'm loving it,
Girls.
Show an initiative.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll earn yourself a promotion and actually get paid.
And either Millicent or Freddie mentioned the Sunshine Girls, or like, I'm surprised you left the Sunshine Girls. You seemed into it. And she's like, oh yeah, I'm all in here. I burned my Sunshine Girls uniform.
Yes.
I think, much like Gibby, we needed a character who's just kind of stupid, but is down for anything.
Yes.
Yes.
I am here for Olive being that character.
We needed a Gibby.
I have a feeling Olive is not going to be in the rest of the show, but I think Olive would be
a damn shame.
It's a damn shame, but I think Olive would be a very good Gibby.
I think so too.
I could imagine like Olive and Millicent having like an almost Pinky in the Brain like relationship.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. That's 100%. 100%.
The same thing we do every night, Olive. Try to get as much money as possible and take over the world.
God.
But Millicent declares Freddie the CDO, or Chief Dad Officer, of Millicent's minions, which touches him a lot because she called him Dad.
Yay. That was really cute. This episode's really cute.
It's very cute. It's
a
very
bonding
good.
Moment.
And it's a character thing. They're nice.
Bonding through operating an illegal sweatshop and profiting off child labor.
Yeah. There's an emotional through line to this plot, which is not something I think we can say about everything.
Yeah.
It's good that they tie it into character and emotions. Anyway, guys, Harper is all in on iLeapIn.
She's leaped all the way in.
She's leaped all the way in. They walk into their apartment where Spencer and Freddie are packing cupcakes.
Because they needed a workspace and their apartment was open.
Yep. Nobody has any workspace.
Yeah. Sounds like they could use iLeapIn.
And Freddie says that he's so excited to be bonding and connecting with Millicent. But she does come in and then he shoots down all her ideas in a kind of insensitive way.
Yeah, what the fuck, Freddie?
Yeah, the thing where it's like she comes in and she has like, I have this new idea for like a peanut cupcake. And Freddie's like, what about people who have peanut allergies? Might as well call it the death cake.
Yep.
And then Millicent's like, okay, well, I drew this new logo. And Freddie's like, well, this logo looks like it was drawn by an 11-year-old. We're not using this. Despite the fact that it was drawn by an 11-year-old.
Clearly now we know where Millicent gets her evil tendencies.
Yeah. Yeah. There are latent tendencies in Freddie.
Yeah.
Anyway, we go back to iLeapIn, quickly becoming my favorite place in the world.
Yeah. I mean, it's so great. You can just kind of dip in for an hour or two.
You can dip in for an hour or two in between meetings. Two strange women who may have names, but I forgot them. Try to convince Carly to join. They tell her that you can it's a casual thing. You can just dip in for an hour in between meetings. It's great. Carly finds out that Harper was there until 3 a.m. yesterday.
Doing hot yoga.
And it becomes very clear that Argentina is a cult leader. They're doing like flower arrangements. And she's talking about how women are like flowers, pretty but delicate and not strong on their own. They need to be bound together. And she starts tying together one of these women's hands
to like demonstrate the proper way to tie together a flower arrangement. Yeah, and she's just like big smile on her face, arms out, fully accepting.
Well, she tells Carly is like, does that bother you? And she says, no, hands don't need circulation. She has started to buy into the cult's lies.
And she also like goes down to like pick up. There's like a juice bar there too. She goes to pick up her juice with like her hands tied together.
Yep.
It's a good bit.
It's a good bit. It's very good. I like these strange, dumb women.
Yep.
I'm not trying to be mean to her or any women, but these characters are not particularly intelligent.
No, I feel like that's pretty fair to say.
Yeah. Saying dumb women made me feel bad.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah. Harrison gets it. Harrison gets how much of a piece of shit I am.
You're not a piece of shit.
No, I used to be
very dumb.
I think you can leave, right, guy?
Well, he used to be a piece of shit, and then he joined iLeapIn.
Yeah. Sloppy steak.
Sloppy steaks and Geronimo's on Tuesdays.
Yep. Anyway, watch I Think You Should Leave. The one thing that made me think maybe this isn't a cult and everything's fine is that Carly then says to Harper, this is a cult.
Yeah.
I kind of thought, well, now that they said it, that can't be it. But
no, it is.
It is more or less what is going on.
See, the specific motivation behind the cult is the twist.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, not the twist, the big reveal.
This is the beginning of Carly beginning her Nancy Drew arc in this episode.
Harper doesn't agree that it's a cult. She's like, I love it here. So Carly goes over to Spencer to voice these frustrations.
I love it when Harper says, your negativity is holding me back. I'm going to go back to iLeapIn. That was great. That's a real Scientology moment.
Oh, it's great. And then Carly goes to Spencer, who is packaging up one of his sculptures for iLeapIn because he could use it as a tax write-off.
That's the best thing. He said, like, the other day my accountant said I needed more tax write-offs, and he does this big shrug, like, I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And Argentina said I could donate one of my sculptures to iLeapIn as a tax write-off. Isn't that perfect? And Carly's like, isn't that creepy? That she knew exactly what you needed to do with your life?
Yeah.
And he says to Carly, like, you quit it, Nancy Drew. And there's a very good line where Carly was like, Nancy Drew headlined an entire series of books, a number of films, and she could do everything that two Hardy Boys could do. So that is a compliment.
Shout out to Nancy Drew.
Shout out to Nancy Drew.
Mm-hmm. I never read those books as a kid, but I never read a lot of mysteries.
Me neither. I liked mystery, but I never read like the Hardy Boys. I read a lot of like the Sherlock Holmes short stories as a kid.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, Carly, being a real Nancy Drew, it's a compliment, decides to sneak into Argentina's office.
Yes, which is off limits. It's specifically stated earlier that it's off limits and no one is allowed in there.
Yep. She distracts the two strange women.
Yes.
By saying, oh, was there a lost and found? I think I lost my jacket here. It was denim, but also camouflage. If you could just...
And it had frills and neon.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so one of them is like, oh, I'll go look for it. And then the other one stays behind and Carly's like, well, you see, maybe you should go too, because like I'm a Gemini and I think that if both of you look, it would be great for me. But also, and it's IMDb trivia time, because Carly says she's a Gemini in this episode, but in the previous episode, she said her birthday is July 24th, which makes her a Leo. Are you telling me that Carly lied in order to get into Argentina's office? Are you saying that she lied to me? Also, it's also important to me to note that for this piece of IMDb trivia, 0 out of 2 people found that interesting, which meant that 2 people had to go in and say, I do not find this interesting.
That's so good. Oh, it's the 2 girls who were distracted.
Yeah,
they were like, I am not amused.
They figured that they had been duped by Carly, the Leo.
Yep.
I wanted a joke where Carly exits Argentina's office after the serious stuff happens, and then like finds the 2 girls standing there. They bring her the jacket. Denim jacket with frills and neon. Like, hey, I found your jacket.
That would be so good. That would be great.
Unfortunately, I don't think we got that. That doesn't happen.
Yeah. Instead, Carly grabs a key card, goes into the office, and finds out that Argentina is spying on everybody in the nests. We see Toji just crying.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, she's...
As one does.
Yeah. She's mining people's data to send them to corporations to give them targeted ads.
Yeah. So, yeah, she's just evil.
Yep, it's pretty bad.
She's giving into the machine apocalypse.
By the way, there was a thing earlier where a line earlier where Harper says that she got a targeted ad, and she's like, I manifested this thing because I was tweeting about how I wanted this, and then I got an ad for that thing.
Oh. So set it up.
Or no, she says she manifested it, and Carla's like, I don't think you manifested it. And she was right. Because Argentina manifested it by mining her data and sending it to corporations.
Argentina seems like the kind of person who would sell NFTs.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
But the F stands for female.
Wait, but that would mean non-female tokens.
Wait. So she sells FTs, female tokens.
Yeah.
Or FFTs, female-friendly tokens.
Yeah. Or new female...
New female tokens.
Yeah, new female tokens.
Or the N becomes, it's like a double N, and it's like non-female tokens.
Yes.
A double negative.
You can't do that. That doesn't stand.
I'm too powerful. With my double negative, I can change
like
the meaning.
Ends. It's like, I don't even know if it's like if they cancel each other out anymore. It's just A whole mess.
I just like nut ends.
I just really like the letter N.
I just like the sound. I keep putting it into sentences and now nobody can understand what I'm saying. Sorry, I mean, nobody doesn't not understand what I'm not saying. God, I'm doing it again. I'm sorry. God, I'm not doing it again. You have to not help me to start not doing this.
Mark, I'm gonna need you to not stop what you're doing because it's definitely gonna not be a not problem.
You don't not have to do this.
I'm just saying it's not a non-issue. Anyways, why don't we stop not getting back to the podcast?
Stop not getting back to the podcast. not get back.
I am
this
profoundly sorry
for
all
off the
that.
Fucking rails. You put two of us in the same room and look what happens.
Yeah, but Argentina threatens to destroy Harper's lookbook that she was making for this new job.
Yeah.
If Carly doesn't acquiesce and let her on iCarly and not tell anybody about the spying. Anyway, next scene, Millicent's minions fire Freddy. I did not realize when I started that sentence, that's a tongue twister.
Yeah.
Millicent's minions fire Freddy.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm saying that one 5 times
Freddy.
fast.
Because he's a dumbass.
Yeah, because he took over and Olive doesn't have any feeling in her left hand anymore. I don't know what that's a reference to. I don't think there was a scene where like Freddy hits her left hand accidentally or something. Yeah. I think that's just she's been working so much, but that's Millicent's problem. Yeah. Anyway,
yeah,
Olive has suffered.
Yeah,
my new favorite character, Olive, has suffered.
Our best friend, Olive.
Yeah. They all leave.
They all live. Am I right? That's a stretch.
But Millicent says that she has to let him go as their CDO, as her chief dad officer, but she will keep him on as her dad. Yeah. And Freddy is really touched because she called him her dad.
So cute.
Which is very nice and cute. There's an emotional resolution to this storyline. And also, Millicent's Minions is going to pivot to real estate.
Yes. They say that at the end.
I forgot about that. Yeah, They're pivoting to real estate. That's where the real money is. Passive income.
Yep. Anyway, back at iLeapIn, Spencer is there installing his statue. He's been given a man pass and a big helmet with an alarm on it that goes off
if he either makes a scene or comes within 6 feet of a woman.
Yeah. And I think Harper approaches him and suddenly just blaring lights and going, man, warning, man, warning, man, warning.
And Spencer proceeds to create a scene.
Yep.
In iLeapIn.
He causes a ruckus.
Yep. But Spencer and Harper find Argentina's office. No diversions necessary. And they see there's a camera in Spencer's living room, presumably in the home assistant that Argentina gave him.
It's a weird angle for the home assistant. It's
I don't know where.
Yeah.
I didn't think about where the camera was going to be. I was like, in my mind, I was like, how did she install that? But Mark bringing up that it was probably from the home assistant makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But do you think that Spencer glued the home assistant to the corner ceiling of the room? Because that's where the camera is.
That's where, that's where just a security camera would be.
Pretty much.
And here's the thing. I don't put doing something weird with the home assistant past Spencer. Yeah. He might glue it to the ceiling.
That's true.
But if Spencer were to glue that to the ceiling or do anything with it, it would catch on fire.
Right, yeah.
So Carly strapped it to the ceiling.
Right, Carly must have done it. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Yep. But anyways, they see that Argentina is threatening Carly, and she says that she only got close to Spencer so she could get close to Carly and go to iCarly and promote iLeapIn on iCarly.
Yeah.
And so Harper and Spencer are like, oh no, we gotta tell her that iLeapIn is bad.
Yep. So
this
they
all feels like a
save
very
her.
Roundabout way of accomplishing this plan. I feel like she could have just messaged her on LinkedIn and been like, "Hey, can I come on your show to promote my
promote
my workspace?"
That's true. This was a weird plan. For someone who like knows about mining data and targeted ads, the fact that she didn't do like a LinkedIn message or an email inquiry. Instead, she's like, I'm going to approach her brother at an art gallery.
Sleep with him.
Give him a digital assistant to spy on him.
Yeah.
Invite her friend to work at, or no.
Her and her friend.
Invite her and her friend.
Hope that they need a workspace.
Yeah, hope that they need a workspace.
Yeah.
The perfect plan.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's foolproof, except for the fact that it didn't work.
Yep. Yeah. And it doesn't work because Spencer and Harper burst in as Carly's starting to film iCarly.
Well, she says that she's not filming.
Yeah, she's struggling with the camera.
She says she's struggling with the camera.
Harrison, you're implying there's going to be some kind of twist.
Yeah, okay.
She needs a big, strong man named Freddie to help turn the camera on for her.
Mm-hmm. And she's talking to Argentina, and Argentina starts talking about her plan and how she's going to mine data and saying how women are stupid and weak and she hates them.
She's a woman hater.
And I think I said out loud as she's saying these things, I went, oh, Carly's recording. And then like she kept saying these things. She's going on for a while. She kept saying these things. And I was saying to you guys, okay, I'm writing down they haven't done it yet, but I'm writing down in my notes that Carly is recording. And guys, Carly was recording the whole thing.
No way. I didn't see that coming.
Who could have seen this coming?
Zach, I did not see that coming.
No one could have seen it coming.
It's the most shocking twist since Rosebud.
What a twist.
What a twist. But Harper calls Carly Nancy Drew as a compliment. They threaten to make a prestige streaming show about Argentina's online business, which I thought was a pretty good and timely joke. Mm-hmm. Pretty good topical joke about a lot of shows. And they make Argentina give back Harper's flash drive. And also, Spencer is still very much into Argentina.
Of course. Just he's a simp. Hashtag
what a simp.
Yeah, I think at the beginning of the scene, he's like, it was all right. And then at the end, he's like, and if you want to steal my data, you're free to do so anytime.
He's like, and I did not get you a juice when I was at iLeapIn, but you can have mine.
Because you're pretty.
You're pretty.
Yeah. But so all is right with the world, and we come to our final scene. We find out Spencer is giving up his walk-in pantry, so Harper has a workspace. That's good. There's a moment where Harper is like talking or thanking him or whatever, and the camera like unfocuses and then refocuses on her. It's a really weird mistake.
Yeah.
And when also Toji, Carly's friend from yoga who warned her about iLeapIn is here.
Turns out she's totally fine with iLeapIn.
Yeah, it's really great. She's like, I'm going back tomorrow. And they're like, what? But you and she's like, no, I love iLeapIn and I love targeted ads.
Yeah,
she was into the whole thing. She does say, I love targeted
very
ads.
Emotional.
She said,
she's
very emotional because she has guest passes.
Yeah, she says, why did you say that? Well, I have guest passes. And why were you crying? She goes, I'm really emotional. I mean, to think about if I were to miss out on anything because there wasn't a targeted ad. Maybe Toji should be the new Gibby.
That's true. That would be great.
Toji should be the new Gibby.
Great. Very similar energy.
We have, maybe that's why this was the best episode. There are two possible Gibbys.
Yes.
There are two Gibbies.
Millicent walks in, or they're like, we're not going to get caught up in any sort of female-led scam ever again. And then Millicent walks in and she's like, do you want to buy my female-owned timeshares? And Toji and Harper are very into it. And Freddie says, there's my young person. Call back to earlier. The Sunshine friends is what I'm going to say.
It's a very good button to end the episode with.
It's a very good button, but also it's a button.
It is a button.
No other episode has had a button.
I know, right?
It is a button.
It's a button. This episode was just like a little better than all of the rest of them.
Yeah, this episode had a button, unlike a lot of the earlier episodes. But unlike every episode of this podcast, which has our own button called Sad Boy of the Week. Oh, I'm back with my transitions. Get fucked.
Weird nomination. I'm going to nominate Toji.
That's a really good one. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, because the first time we see her, she leans into Carly and says, "Don't leap in, get out." And then immediately seems very scared by Argentina.
Yes.
But we find out, and I think it's almost better than if she had legitimately been scared. She just loves Leap In, and targeted ads
are the best.
Targeted ads really are the best.
Targeted ads. Machine Apocalypse all the way.
It's just that she had guest passes and is very emotional, and she starts crying at like any time. Love Toji. I think she's very sad.
She's great, very sad. I think another choice might be. This is a surprising one. This is a really subtle choice, but I want to run it by you guys. I don't think it's gonna win. The leader of the Sunshine Girls, the one who wants to do a class action lawsuit because she hates the word girls, and to loses half her troops to a young child.
Also, I think
her name is Kiki.
Kiki. Yeah. I think also pretty good is she says like, yeah, we're having a fundraiser, and yeah, we don't get the money, but the corporation gets the money. Yay!
Yay!
I do have another nominee, and this one is maybe more normal, but I don't know if it's going to go to him. I'm going to nominate Spencer.
I was also thinking,
despite finding out that who one is manipulated by Argentina.
Yes.
Yeah.
And two, after he finds out he's been manipulated and that she's very evil, he's still super into her.
Of course.
I don't think this is like an actual nominee, but I kind of want to bring a mention to Carly for the MRI story.
Yeah, a special mention to Carly for the MRI story.
Yeah, not an official nomination, but it's worth a mention.
Should Freddy get a nom for taking over Millicent's minions and then getting fired by his daughter?
By an 11-year-old girl?
It's not sad.
I'll allow
it. Maybe getting fired by an 11-year-old is sad.
Okay.
That being said, I think I'm voting for Toji.
I'm voting for Toji.
I'm voting for Toji as well. Toji wins.
I feel like there wasn't a lot of like sadness from our main cast, but it was all Toji.
I forget who all the winners are, but I think it's like Freddy, Spencer, maybe
Freddy and
Neville,
Spencer,
and now also Toji. Yeah. Who's Toji? She's great as who Toji is.
That's gonna be one of those characters that like we go back a couple episodes later and be like, who the fuck?
Who the fuck is Toji?
I feel like it's not. I have another nominee in mind. I'm not gonna vote for her over Toji, but I think Olive also deserves a nomination.
Oh yeah, Olive.
Great nominee.
Olive is great. I love
Olive.
I
won't vote for Olive over Toji. But it's worth a mention.
Yeah, it's worth a mention.
Yeah, worth a mention. Maybe that's why this episode was the best. It's not that it had a real plot. It's not that all of the plots had emotional backbones. It's not that it had good jokes. It's not that it seemed a little more together than most episodes. It's that it had more sad people than normal.
More sad people. There's a positive correlation,
a lot of sad
guys.
one-off characters as opposed to the main cast who were just kind of reacting to their sadness.
Yeah, it's really good. But yes, I think I vote for Toji.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It's going to Toji.
It's going to Toji. So is that it, guys?
Yeah.
Is that it?
I think so. Yeah.
Are we good? Is that it?
Yeah,
I think so.
Right. Okay. Well, if that's it, which I think it is, I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry. Thank you, people, so much for watching. We don't gender that. Not like the Sunshine Girls and Helen Sunshine. Thank you so much for watching. If you want more, if you want updates, follow us on social media at Rewatch Party Pod on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Remember to rate, review, and subscribe. That helps us out so much. And I've been Marc Green.
I've been Harison Blume.
And I've been Zack Horwitz.
And until next time, keep rewatching and make sure to buy a female-owned timeshare from a small child near you.